Mamo Akwaba Embra POG Media Social and someone say the first time I will share my house here. Reaching a hit on the notification button. Subscribe to the channel, not a feel. What Emma channel not into me fight and one another. DཌNGÉR. There was a break. Political stories here trending make you see making headlines and I get a sumo say. Now Enra a president good father. It me a reshuffle. Now reshuffle in a painful be a can be say a deleted. Tamana Ghana for FSN Kabuti Mayesa cry or Mamuno. I late cry. Na aka 10 months will be free akunyasono na wo ye reshuffle na the average eyebrow will be a take concern on it can offer it utter Minister of Finance KwesiPratt team to be a man the bass no kind should I say Gondi onko wese nka papa nonka onko tananchen kura onfiri na mamuni onko je na home na baby ya wode no konede a senior advisor to the president na likely say obeti may influence decision ntinka be ya nka Ghana for anasi bia ebe ya nka akufuado nka omo papa no anya dai enko tena fi kura inti ye KwesiPratt and so e kan
I'm also going to tell you what I have picked up. And there could be some additional information to what you have read somewhere, or maybe some slight changes. So in terms of those going out, you have the Minister for Roads and Highways going out. You have the Minister for Tourism going out. You have a Minister for Health going out. You have a Minister of Finance going out. You have, and then this might be unrelated to the executive, but it is related. I'll explain that. You have the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Majority Leader going out. And you have Minister for Local Government going out. You have Minister for Gender going out. Okay. Now, in terms of those who are coming in, there are a few who are ministers already. So it's more of, that would be like a reshuffle, so more of them. So you have the Minister for Works and Housing, that's Essential, moving to Roads and Highways from Works and Housing. And then you have Akroma moving from Information to Works and Housing. And then you have some elevation. So DཌNGÉR to become substantive local government minister. You have LḵΑΠΑMS from deputy energy to tourism as minister. And then you have Amin Anta, who's Minister of State. What I'm not too sure about is whether he will be elevated to full minister or he will still be Minister of State in charge of a Ministry of Finance. That I'm not too clear about. But I'm sure that the communication to the Speaker will clarify that. Then you also have Dokwa Newman, the MP, going to gender. Okay. And then you would have Ǎngřy, who was Interior. He will still be a Minister of State. I'm sure this is on the special duties. Okay. So that's also going to come. Now, I told you about parliamentary affairs. It appears that there will no longer be an executive position like that. But the Honorable Afenyo Makin will be nominated as majority leader. And there's some different work for the current majority leader in terms of campaign and policy. Okay. And for the finance minister, the current finance minister, my sources indicate that he would be senior presidential advisor on financial and economic matters. So this is what I have picked up. So Henry Quarter is going to Interior, asked to replace Ambrose Derry, who will be Minister of State Special Duties. Okay. So this is what I have picked up.
All right.
Kesi?
Well, first of all, I do not want to treat this as the usual speculative reporting.
Yes.
From everything that we are hearing, there appears to be some substance to what is published in the newspapers. You understand? So, again, from where I sit and what we are hearing, it does appear that maybe today, maybe in the next few days, some announcement will be made. Now, I agree fully with former Chairman Wasma Blay that this reshuffle is too late. I mean, you have 10 months to an election and 10 months to the possibility of a change in government.
In fact, 9 months to an election.
Yeah, and 10 months to the possibility of a change in government. These reshuffles cannot do much, you know. And before the newly appointed ministers even get to know the terrain within which they'll be operating, 6 months will be passed. You understand? We are not so sure how long vetting is going to take and so on. It can drag. And also, this reshuffle would not make as much meaning as it could have if it had happened much, much earlier. Now, in some instances, I don't expect any change at all. For example, if you take the area of finance and the economy, I'm not expecting any change at all. What has happened is that, and based on what has been published and what we are hearing, what would happen is that Mr. Kedufuriata is not being removed at all. He's being elevated.
He's no longer the minister.
Yeah, but he's being elevated.
He will no longer be the minister.
He will no longer be the minister, but if the speculation is right, he's going to be the senior presidential advisor on finance and the economy. Every minister of finance will work under him. He's still in charge of the Ministry of Finance.
Well, but the relevant laws put the power and the authority in the minister responsible for finance and not the advisor.
No.
Yes.
He will be exercising directly the influence and power of the president over the minister. He talks to the president. He's the advisor to the president. You understand? Which minister can override the president? And he comes with the full authority of the president. So that's no significant change. Indeed, it is a reinforcement of his position as the man who oversees, finance and the economy. So I think that is very, very clear. And as you speculated, if Amin Anta is left at the ministry as just a minister of state, Kedufuriata even becomes even more powerful, very, very powerful and so on. So we wait to hear the full announcement, and when the full announcement does come, we will then be in a position to critically, analyze it. Mr. Dangote has been an extraordinary politician for a very long time, you understand? And he played prominent roles in the New Patriotic Party, even in the days of the Darochas and so on. And his shift to the Ministry of Local Government was significant. I think it was based on his experience in the field and so on. Now that he's being removed, I don't know what role he's going to play. Maybe he's being removed so that he can play a keener role in the elections.
That's what I'm picking up.
Okay. But even then, I mean, he can be as skillful as anything,
he's also one of the people who is
he's not going back to
as
Parliament.
high on the agenda as a running mate to LÇŽ.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But if my good old friend will listen to me, and I know that not many of my friends listen to me these days, if I were him, I would decline that.
Decline what?
The running mate to LÇŽ.
Hey.
If I were Dዘለዎ, I would decline that.
Not Dዘለዎ.
Who?
I thought you were speaking about Sechi Mensah-Bonsu. Not
No,
Dम्रो.
I'm talking about Dम्रो.
Oh, no.
Dम्रो is...
No. He's not the...
Oh, okay. That's
I thought you were speaking about Sechi Mensah-Bonsu.
No, Sechi Mensah can offer it. But Dम्रो...
No, he's not one of the people.
But even if he were, he should decline it. I mean, he's more worthy than that, you understand? And...
I think that from the two people from the Eastern region whose names have come up, as far as running meeting is concerned, are Nana Akroma and Brian Achampong.
Yeah, I've heard about Nana Akroma too. And he's very cagey about it, you know, and even though I don't think that he would decline if he was offered, he's very cagey about it.
Curious to say that somebody is more worthy than the vice presidential slot. I mean, I don't understand that. Can you explain? Because I mean, if somebody is given an opportunity to say,
all he's saying is that Dम्रो is bigger than a driver's mate. That's what he's saying.
Oh no, I disagree.
Oh, you think he's qualified?
No, that's his
he's qualified to be anything. But if you qualify to be a minister, you accept a position as a minister of state. Why would you think that a vice presidential slot is beneath you? Well, I mean, that's my view. I mean, and I've never really understood that argument where people feel that, you understand, if you're ready to serve as a minister and you are given an opportunity as a running mate and you say that that is beneath you, there must be something illogical about it. That's my view. I mean, that's my view.
I've had the privilege of working with somebody like Dम्रो over a very long period of time. Indeed, our relationship, political working relationship, even deepened around 1991. And I can tell you on authority that over the years, he's built a certain reputation for himself and so on. I think that reputation will be harmed substantially if he accepts this position. And it's different from, you know, a ministerial position. I think it will be harmed. Dम्रो is known for somebody who speaks his mind, who acts on the basis of principle and so on. I don't see how he can continue to keep that image if he accepted this. I just don't see how. And I would not, if he sought my advise him to take this position. You know. But Randy, I mean, talking about vice president.
I'm some more about POG Media, so KwesiPratt first time I will share my house here, but Marian so bit me hit on the notification button. Subscribe to the channel. Now after share Emma for so answer into baby. I say a political news training make headlines. And not yet some work. But Marian so bit me leave nice comments. Far a year and comma okay. In the end, you KwesiPratt and on all can be say can offer it at a free finance minister so one party name no a elevation say you were free level 100 to level 300 that's your elevation no you don't economy akufuado amamu special advisor to the president. Just say, oh, your special advisor there. Just say you have the power to influence the president's what decision. We in all churches and pray you cry. And ebeya, and papa no send medical kind no, and uncle Tenefi, as and Angela Home. I drink share say. But what I say, which me and Mamsa Kawa drink share under the comment section. Share, comment it. Like it na afi Emma afoforo enso ensanye dey enkani aha aye POG Media political stories are trending make headlines and na yede esumo yenkwai na abra abidefo etro omunkomoji ni so no na yemfamu aba ewia yebesan aba chena so mame say aha aye POG Media
presidential candidates and so on. You know that your friend, in fact, our friend, Pablo Japan is also being mentioned as a likely candidate. And again, to say the truth, the first time I heard it, I was completely shocked. And you know why I was shocked? I mean, if you listen to him on the presidential campaign trail, the things he said about the government, his vision for the future and so on, does not fit into him becoming vice presidential candidate. But hey, everybody have their plan, and they only know how their plans can be actualized. But that's up to them.
All right. Yes, go on.
The other interesting thing about this ministerial reshuffle is that, again, one of our friends is being mentioned as a possible replacement for the Minister of Health, Okoboy.
Yes.
Dr. Okoboy. Interesting in many ways. I mean, he actually acted as chief executive of Kolebu for some time.
Board chairman.
For Kolebu for some time. The reports that I had, and I'm sure that all of you had, was that his performance was stellar.
Yes.
Stellar performance. And then he was moved also to the health insurance, National Health Insurance.
Before then, the task force.
Yeah. And with National Health Insurance, I think he's been very quiet.
Yes.
Very quiet. He's not been in any controversy and so on. I don't know what you can do in 9 months, because the health sector is a really problematic sector. But, well, maybe his tactics has paid off, and he has some very real, interesting tactics. Maybe those tactics have paid off, and so I wish him well. I mean, he's a friend. I wish him well. I'm sure that if he's listening, he himself will understand the tactics that I'm talking about. And I see Randy laughing all the way because Randy knows what I'm talking about. But Randy, you're revealing everything.
I'm sure he's having a good laugh.
Yeah, but you're revealing everything.
I'm sure he's having a good laugh himself.
Because anybody who understands that would know, what I'm talking about. But I wish him well. I really wish him well. And perhaps if there was enough time and he could repeat what he did at Kolebu, perhaps, we would see some changes in the health sector.
So I just had some, the Honorable Nantes one I spoke about, he's Minister of State. Okay, so he will be made a substantive minister.
Yeah, but still substantive minister with serious limitations.
Why?
Well, there will still be Ken Oforiatta as senior presidential advisor on finance and the economy.
He's not a finance minister.
Yeah, but you mean he will stand up?
All the acts and everything empowers the minister.
Yeah, the minister doesn't have more power than the president.
Oh, yes.
Yes. That's clear.
He acts on behalf of the president.
Yes. And I don't see how he is going to stand up against Ken Oforiatta. It won't happen. It won't happen. You understand?
Okay.
It won't happen. Ken Oforiatta will still be in charge of finance and the economy. Clear as daylight. In fact, now, Ken Oforiatta's position is almost the equivalent of the position that Mr. Safumafu holds.
No, he was... Okay, so Safumafu was senior minister.
Yes.
Then he became senior presidential advisor. He's currently senior presidential advisor.
Yeah, almost the equivalent.
So he has a colleague now. He has a colleague.
I mean, Safumafu was the primus inter pares.
When he was senior minister.
But even now.
He's no longer a minister. He's just...
Senior presidential advisor.
But he's not a minister.
The senior presidential advisor actually carries the weight, authority, and influence of the president.
But
those things are really, for me, I think that they're superficial. It depends on the kind of leadership that this thing brings. I believe that
there are many ways of massaging egos.
If the decision is made,
right? If the majority of parliamentarians, and I want to believe that a large proportion of the Ghanaian population has been wanting Ken Oforiatta out, and we still find the need to massage his ego, then he's huge.
Oh, yes.
That is really huge.
I mean, I was what the ET political stories are training, make waves, make headlines, or my emo. Shadows one say hi POG Media. First time in here, or Maria say will be to me, I'm a man who you are. I'm a faso. Or Maria say will be to me, I like it, or be share, or be commenting. A far and come my yidi. Now maybe be to me after to my pie day. Efra, come. Hey, sanity. And so far, we senior Europe KwesiPratt, and so can ever a year President Akufo-Addo and Reshuffling. And see, at this point in time, Mame and Fau in see her. Now, she knows Mamma said that for a essential, the story, no, the moon gave him pa assign at the idea. Summon, oh, channel so. Or Maria said, to me, a leave comment under the comment section for Amame. I mean, our answer.